I don't have too much time today, so I thought I would record a little while I'm putting on my war paint for work. Do a little EAP update. I hadn't really talked about the project much lately because it's been getting on my fucking nerves. Excuse me. I'm starting early this morning. But, let me light an incense real quick. Had a hard time sleeping last night, falling asleep, and then when I did fall asleep, I was up by 3. And so I did some more work on the Earth Angel project, and I posted 2 really good videos that I watched last night. And this was on the sci-fi part of it, and it was on the Archons, those evil motherfuckers, and the reptilian agenda. I know, very QAnon kind of stuff, but it was really good, and it fits right into the project that I've been talking about. And highly recommend you watch this. It was from the Gia channel or something. Anyway. Got my pretty little crystals. Pancho snored like a baby. So he was fine. And he was the biggest bed hog ever last night. But so that was really, really good. And then there was the Sophia one. And it talks about how the Vatican Church eliminated her in all of the teachings, kind of like the feminine aspect of all of the gospel, and you know, just a really, and their biggest fear of her returning, which is what's exactly happening, or her essence returning to the world, and people learning about the truth about, for this, in these entertainment purposes only. Hold on. For entertainment purposes only, of course. You know, the reason that the Vatican and political leaders and everyone would, especially religion, would keep the feminine out of the Gospels, of course, is because of the patriarchy and the control and the power. And then also, if the world found out that they purposely hid this information, purposely manipulated the Bible. And in this fantastical story, it's also telling how the God of the universe, or the God of this earth, a demiurge, although he's the creator, he's a kind of an asshole God. He's like the kind of God that makes you worship only him, and he's like a Trump Jr., or like a Trump, you know, like, I'm the best, no, you can't have anyone before me, and only I can be the best God ever, and blah, 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 blah. You have to devote, and you have to pay your tithings, and you have to, and, you know, he's the kind that would refer to women as piggies, quiet piggy, you know, kind of like a jackass God. But that's the one that everyone's worshipped, and they keep people connected to it because there's like half-truths of, you know, just really crazy stuff. So yeah, when and I wasn't high, I'm not on drugs, but I guess that's what happens when you have insomnia and you can't sleep. Really crazy stuff comes up on your feed, and as crazy as it is, it's part of the Earth Angel novella. So what is happening right now is, in this fictional story, The evil cabal is losing, losing, losing. They're losing control. The earth angels, the light workers, they are, you know, this year is the year of the snake. The shedding of all of the false lies. Everything that the earth angel had predicted so far is, and the ones that they laughed at, some of the predictions sounded just crazy ridiculous, like, you know, exposing that the first lady was an escort, that Israel was connected to Epstein and has blackmail on everyone, and all of this, the Mossad was part of, or the Charlie Kirk was an inside hit, that the French president's wife really does have a penis. Not that I give a shit, but apparently they do so much that they put a hit out on Candace Owens. And like her or not, I'm not exactly the biggest fan of hers, but shit, if I were to get assassinated, I'd want her to be investigating my assassination. She's the only one that gives a shit about Charlie Kirk and what really happened to him. Anyway, so it's been just such a crazy, crazy story. Oh, and then yesterday, gross. I seen Isis, I like her. I posted hers earlier. And she's the one that has the cats in the background. Meow Masita is one of the cats' names. I just love her. But anyway, she was talking about how, I thought it was really interesting. She was talking about industry, and in this fictional, for entertainment purposes only story, a lot of people in the industry have done sacrifices, have killed their own friends, their own artists, and especially those that were about to expose them, and have kind of hijacked the whole industry. You got all that Diddy stuff that I talked about last year too, and even though they just call them freak-offs, the reality is they are actual rituals. They're it's a sex cult. I know, it's so dramatic, right? But dude, hold on, I'm running out of time. Hold on, buddy, hold on. And it's really not hard to believe when you listen to, if you actually paid attention, you know, it wasn't that he was just kinky. Like, the shit that he was doing was really, really vile and disgusting. And how he'd have people going for days, going at it. I mean, it's like sexual energy. It's just really gross. And he raped a lot of people, men and women. He drugged them. The baby oil wasn't just baby oil. It had the GHB, am I saying that right? It had that kind of shit in it, so that people were not completely coherent. Really disgusting, vile stuff. And of course, you know, his pimp and his best buddy, who doesn't get yet, who hasn't been called out for shit, Jay-Z, was part of it, because they're part of the evil cabal. And he is just basically kind of like the scapegoat. I mean, don't get me wrong, he's done really shitty stuff, but he's not smart enough or cool enough to really pull it off. He does that shit on behalf of the big hidden archons. Dude, okay, I got my poncho here. He's like, Mama, you talking crazy today. And so, so yeah, it's, so yesterday, you know, that was something that I've mentioned before in my Earth Angel project, Jay-Z and Beyonce. And again, I never knew that there was all this witchcraft stuff, rumor shit going around. Oh, the craziest rumor I heard, but okay, let me finish this part. I never knew about all this witchcraft stuff, and my daughter told me last year And it was weird because I started channeling it and I was actually having dreams about it. And I just said, that's just crazy. Because I really liked both of them. I really liked Beyonce too. And I was kind of like, give me a confirmation, God. Like, this is really crazy. I don't want to make this part of the Earth Angel story. Especially because, you know, she's kind of got this beehive. And those heifers are pretty devout to her. And that was the thing, was it's kind of cultish, right? And so I was like, crap. And then I had my daughter with me. She had come at that time to San Antonio when I was in San Antonio. And we had spent the weekend together. And I don't know how it came up. Hold on. But it came up. And she said, yeah, there's a lot, they say a lot of stuff like Nas, and I said, well, I don't know. I mean, I really didn't. I feel like such an idiot now. And she's like, well, they say Beyonce and Jay-Z. And when she said that, it was like, boom, for me. I was like, yeah, I got to include it in this story, even though it's a fictional story. You know, that was kind of my confirmation. Because my daughter is pretty spot on about stuff. She didn't say that they were. She just said, word on the street, Mom. And so, and sure enough, word on the street. When I started doing the research and stuff, it shows that she actually has had, there was a singer, Della Rosa, go figure, that was shot dead in LA, Latina. That's crazy. Anyway, and I'll sing ISIS. Oh, and then I've been talking shit. Been talking smack. Not shit. It's actually truth. Kardashians can't stand them. Especially the mom. I think she's a child trafficker. She sells her own kids. It's disgusting. And I don't know how many babies she had to sacrifice to get that facelift, but there's something very unnatural about that woman. And seeing Oprah hanging out with her and stuff was so disappointing, but not shocking, because Oprah's been in my dreams too. She's part of the evil cabal. All these heifers are. But it came up in the reading about the industry, and she talked about Beyonce, specifically Beyonce and Jay-Z, and not Oprah, the Kardashians, and how they're currently in this fictional story. I don't know this. I've never met this tarot reader, so it's not like I asked her to do this for the project. But she mentions how people like them, and these people who have done nefarious things to be able to get status and lots of money, are all going to be exposed. So that's the good stuff. That's the good note. So it's going down. It's going down. And then last night, Asteria 5D had a really good one. Same shit. They're all freaking out. And Archangel and the light workers are just moving on up. Just minding their business, doing their thing. Is it frustrating sometimes that this story is still fucking going on? Yes. Am I exhausted? Fuck yes. But it's finally getting good. It's finally, you know. And then in real life, you see people like Trump who are freaking the fuck out. Because, of course, he's part of the evil cabal. Oh, shit, did I put mine? Yeah, I did. He was going to make an announcement last night. He shut it down, shut out the press. He's heading to Florida to go, Lord knows what, start his holiday early. MAGA has been exposed as a psyop that it is. You know, when Elon Musk, I wonder if he did it purposely, exposed where the accounts were coming from. 2/3 of them are from other parts of the world. This is shit we've been saying since 2016. So, not that the maggots care, but the people like us care. Like, wow, all this time you've been listening to people that don't even, that their whole mission is just to divide and destroy the U.S. And you fell for it, you motherfuckers. And now you're worshiping an orange con man, pedophile, gross. So yeah, what was it, 2017? What, 8 years ago? He was celebrating Thanksgiving with Epstein. A few years before he had him killed. Anyway, so things are going well in the Earth Angel novella. I don't have much time to read because I'm going in early today. So let me just find something real quick. Oops. Oh, I'll have to read my New Earth when I come home. Find something. Okay. Prayer for letting go. Divine Mother, my soul may my soul be stubborn and my spirit fierce. May I find the strength to let go when I have nothing lined up to take its place. May I find the courage to listen, especially when I don't like what I hear. When I pretend I can't hear you, please speak up louder than before, for that is when I need you most. Thank you, and so it is. Let's see how long this is. Okay, Poncho. Shadow callings. Everyone has a calling, but not everyone has the courage to answer it. In fact, most people ignore their calling completely. The fact that you're reading this book is a pretty awesome feat. Drawing inspiration from Julia Cameron's concept of the shadow artist, a shadow calling is when we don't have the courage to answer our highest calling, and so we settle for something halfway. It's the managers who long to sing, the film producers who want to direct, the agents who are meant for the stage, the project managers who yearn to make art, the historians who are called to make history, and the copywriters who have 10 books in them. Only you know if you are a shadow career for your soul. You are in a shadow career for your soul. Watching from the sidelines is agony. Your gifts are there to be expressed, and if you don't actively do something with them, the universe will find a way to coax them out of you. But it might be in a way that doesn't serve you. Deep down, I always knew that I wanted to write, create, heal, and uplift. I found myself in my shadow calling, working as a copywriter in advertising, working as a, director in call centers. There was a lot that I loved about this job because I was getting paid to write and create, but at the end of each day, I felt dissatisfied because I was not consciously expressing my gifts as a healer and an uplifter. And so life demanded me to be the healer and the uplifter regardless of my career. My boyfriend had chronic depression, and so I was spending a lot of my energy looking at ways to get him through that. Several of my close friends were also suffering from depression. At this time, I was working in a creative team with a guy who is a quadriplegic. I chose to work with him because he inspired me so much. Unable to move from the neck down, his glasses had a laser chip in them that was connected to his computer, and he would art direct in Photoshop by moving his head. We shared an office and had a nurse in every hour to give him water, feed him, change his position, and take him to the bathroom. If they weren't available, I would step in. While we were working together, he had to have an emergency tracheotomy, which meant that he needed help clearing his chest every hour or so. Pretty much all parts of my life demanded that I be the uplifter, but I was running on empty, so it was exhausting. Now I see all of this was the universe trying to wake me up to my path, and this period of my life was a blessing. The longer you stay in a situation that doesn't fit, the harder it is to take a leap towards your highest calling. I know it's difficult when you've worked so hard at something, and how to let all of that go is a scary prospect. But in the end, it won't be as scary and hard as you think. Nothing is ever wasted. The sooner you leap, the sooner you will look back at this moment and say, I'm so glad I found the courage to leap. Work your light. Are you in a shadow calling or your true calling? What is your soul calling you to do? Yeah, I'm a little temporary right now, cooking in a kitchen, but it's a safe place for me to be while I work on this project, and it's exactly where I need to be. But I am so grateful for this project. I've got to go because my ride is on her way, and yeah, work's gonna be a little crazy today. So I wanted to jump on and make sure that I got a little bit of Earth Angel project in. Say bye-bye, Pancho. Pancho says bye-bye. But I will be back later tonight if it's not too crazy. I hope that you have a wonderful day, and thank you for watching me put on my war paint. Thank you for listening to my Earth Angel update, and thank you for being a part of my spiritual journey and my creative project if you're watching. Love you. Bye.